Welcome to the show.
Yo, alright. So I was on the way to the gym.
It's good.
Saturday?
Is the mic good?
Saturday. I guess, yeah.
What you mean you guess? Is it good or not? What are you doing? You told me to do this.
Yeah, that sounds good.
This guy here, man. What you was late for the gym, what?
So I was headed to the gym like Saturday morning. And I don't know what it was, but I just turned the Carter 3 on. And it might be like, ain't no might. I think it's the greatest album I've ever heard put together. Like, just, come on, man.
This is not a music podcast. Mic check, mic check, mic check. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Infusion Breakdown Show. As always, it's your boy Joshua Freeman. To my left, I got Mr. Brian Carey. To my right, I got Mr. Desmond Tillman. How you guys been?
Cool.
That's good.
Tired.
Yes, sir.
Tired. But yeah, we got a doozy for you guys today. The question we have on the docket: what's the biggest waste?
Doozy docket.
Doozy docket. What's the biggest waste of human potential? But what do you guys think? Remember, comment below. Let us know, okay? Remember to also don't forget about the timestamps in the description below, okay? But what do you guys think? What's the biggest waste of human potential?
What do you think is the biggest waste of human potential?
Mine is kind of broad, but I want to say not attempting anything at all. That's the biggest waste, because I mean, just the potential of us attempting something and what it could become is substantial, I feel, and the fact that we won't even attempt it in the first place is a big waste, because who knows what could come out of any situation, you know? So mine is really broad, basically, just not attempting anything at all.
I'm glad you prefaced that.
Why you said that?
Because now I can't come for your neck for that broad-ass statement.
Wait, why would you come for my neck, though?
Because we'd have had, like, how much time we had to think about this?
Yeah.
We'd have had a lot of time, man.
All right, what you got?
I think the undisciplined mind is the biggest waste of human potential.
The young disciplined mind?
The undisciplined mind.
Oh, undisciplined mind.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you mean undisciplined?
Exactly. I'm glad.
What do you mean undisciplined?
I'm glad you asked. So what I think the undisciplined mind is the mind to where you are not able to dictate how you react to things. You're not able to dictate how you do things. You kind of just either give reactions based off of emotions, or you're not able to decipher what is being said to you. So I think, the undisciplined mind is that, to where you are often surrounded by doubt, and that doubt is like self-doubt. It's not even like, oh, I got haters doubt. It's more or less self-doubt and questioning if you can even do that, because with the discipline, you're able to, write everything down, whether it be mentally or actually physically. You're able to stick to routines. You're able to actually sit back and look at things for what they are, and then determine how it affects you. So it's more or less just reacting rather than overreacting or underreacting. You're more or less just taking everything for what it is, knowing that it really doesn't have, a total bearing on what your life is. It's just that of what it is.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how disciplined would you consider yourself?
It depends on where I'm at. If I'm in my mental state is A1. And what I mean by A1, it was like I wake up and I know I'm in a good mood. I know I'm focusing on my energy, because I really think the very first thing of like disciplining your mind is like mastering your energy. So I think when I'm mastering my energy and I'm channeling it into things that are beneficial to me, then I'm say somewhere around the 7, because there are a few things that I could do better, like financial tracking, or just writing ideas down as they come to my head and acting on those ideas, rather than just when I'm not at my disciplined self and I'm more like a 3 or 4, then I'm having these good ideas, but they're just, gone as soon as I think of them. And I'm not necessarily, focusing on my energy. I'm allowing whatever energy I'm feeling at that time to be what people can remember me as, rather than, understanding that my character, in a sense, is defined how I react to certain situations. And I'm not really understanding that, or not even understanding that, I'm not taking that into consideration when I'm my undisciplined self. I'm more or less just saying, well, I really don't give a fuck how you feel. I think this is how I feel at the moment, rather than just saying, like, does this really have any, effect on me right now or 15 minutes from now? If the answer is no, then I really don't react to it. And if it is like a yes, then I determine how I'm going to react to it. That is beneficial, not now, but 15 minutes from now, or 15 hours from now, or 15 months from now.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
How disciplined would you say you were?
On a scale of 1 to 10.
Same scale.
6. What?
Just the ease by which you answered that question.
Oh yeah. Nah,
you had already thought about that?
Yeah.
So you knew
when he was answering his answer.
You knew I was going to ask you.
Yeah, I kind of figured. When he was doing his answer, I was like, oh yeah, I'm about a 6. That's before he said he was a 7 though. I thought he was going to say like 8.
But I think the easiest thing you could do though is like look at athletes who are like head and shoulders better than a lot of your greatest of all times, but never really were able to get everything on track. Like imagine, I think you could just sit here and look at Mike Vick, for example. Mike Vick would have probably had if he had like the discipline in every factor of his life, could have been the greatest quarterback of all time. Because the thing that, that pisses me off about Patrick Mahomes is not that he has the discipline, but the commentators who say we've never seen anything like Patrick Mahomes before. And what Patrick Mahomes is doing is really...
They're talking about the throws he made.
I know he's talking about the throws he made, but Mike Vick has made throws like that before. How many throws has Mike Vick made off his back foot, falling backwards?
That accurate?
Yes, that accurate. Come on now.
I don't know the tape. We can
look
at the tape. I don't know if it's that accurate, bro.
Right.
I mean, Michael Vick was known for his feet. He was known for his
feet, but he could throw too, though.
He could throw 100. He could throw the ball, but accuracy, that's the thing. That's the...
And that's what I'm talking about. Like, just imagine if he would have honed in and disciplined himself and worked on deficiencies where he could have taken the Falcons where he could have taken his career. Because he is arguably one of the greatest quarterbacks we've ever seen, but we know he's nowhere near. Yeah, because of his ability. Okay. But he's nowhere near the greatest of all time.
Because for that reason.
Yeah.
I would say the biggest squandering of human potential is the underestimation of what exactly the human potential can be.
I like that.
So by underestimating your impact and not thinking that, it won't make a difference if I do this, or if I make this change, or if I speak up, and allowing yourself to suppress that and just like you said, like not take action.
Yeah.
As a consequence of doing that.
Yeah. This is like the perfect time for that too, because the general election is coming up. So for all y'all people that think that your vote doesn't matter, listen to what Brian just said.
Right. Okay.
What'd you say?
So what are ways that you both discipline your minds?
You wanna go?
I'm thinking like routines throughout the day.
So one thing that I learned, routines are really bullshit. And why I think they're bullshit is because there's times where you'll just stick to a routine for the sake of sticking to it, and you'll do things that you don't necessarily feel you want to do at the time, but for the sake of the routine, you choose to do it. So I would think, and it's not 100% accurate in the sense of like routines are bullshit, because routines are very beneficial for people who need it, and it's also beneficial for people who don't necessarily need it, because a lot of what we do day to day is structured off of schedules and routines. But
incremental success as well.
Yeah. So I just say routines are bullshit in the sense of if you're not going to utilize it in a way that best benefits you, and you're just doing what you see other people doing that has worked for them, then it's bullshit, because you're still going to be where you're at, because you're not doing what you need to do for yourself. You're doing what you see works for other people else, working for other people and hoping that it'll work for you, and it's not always that simple. So I think the one thing for me is just, regardless of the time of the day, getting a workout in, whether it be like on the weekends, I'll go in right after the gym opens, so I'll be up probably around 6 o'clock in the morning, because that's just what time my body wakes me up now. I'll be at the gym probably around 7:45, because I got to get my nitro cold brew in a protein box from Starbucks, and then I'll sit in there for probably about an hour and a half, And then it's just more or less like when I get out of the gym, not going home and just lounging around, but making sure that take a shower, then I'm washing clothes, and instead of just washing the clothes and letting them sit on the bed or the chair, I'm folding them. So it's more or less like making sure that I'm doing small things that result into success. So then I have momentum moving forward to just keep getting things done. So that's why I say at times routines are bullshit, because you can get a lot of stuff done just off freelance doing. Like how a freelancer makes his money. It's there's nothing really ever structured off a routine there. Like there's things done with, determination and discipline and well calculated moves, but it's not something that what they do today is going to be the same as what they do tomorrow, if you get what I'm saying. So more or less what I'm saying is I just find what works for me at the moment, and I build off that. Like I find my base layer, my foundation, my groundwork, and then I work from it. Like some days my biggest victory will just be waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning and then reading a book or taking my son to little kids gym, or just not allowing the day to pass me by without doing anything of value or substance.
I disagree with you on the grounds of you saying routines are bullshit. The only way that a routine is bullshit is if your routine is bullshit itself. Like
that's what I said though.
No. Like you half-ass it.
That's what I said though. Like if you're doing something that doesn't work for you, then you are half-assing it. That's what I said.
Well, I was thinking more so in pertaining to, let's say, like you want to be the greatest football player, right? So when you do your drills and stuff like that, your receiver drills, you're running routes. If you're half-assing it, that's a bullshit routine. Your routine is bullshit. I was thinking more so in pertaining towards your goal. Otherwise, the repetition, like you think of the greats of anything, they have a routine that they adhere to, they stick to, and that everything we do is done incrementally. So like, I forgot the name of the particular member of the Gracie family, but they were saying like the difference where MMA trainers, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gyms and other martial arts is they train at a much lesser intensity, so they're able to train for longer periods, because it does not benefit you whatsoever to go hard 2 days a week and then you're hurt for 3 months. So if you just go like, let's say like 70%, you're able to train more consistently, and therefore you see more results, you're more disciplined, your skills are better honed than someone who just goes in full tilt and then they run the risk of injuring themselves. The same thing applies to your mind.
But how does that necessarily disagree with what I'm saying? Because someone running their routes doesn't necessarily like give the example of what their routine is.
So
like
running,
if somebody runs their routes, that's just like they're running routes.
Running 100 routes once a month versus running 20 routes 5 times a week. At the end of the month, who's more disciplined? At the end of the year, who's more disciplined? Whose skills are better?
When you say running routes,
they're both disciplined though, because they're doing what they set out to do. We can't compare. Like
they're adhering to a goal. They're not the same.
How so?
Both of them are completing their objective they set out to do, but empirically, if you look at whose skills are better, I'm willing to bet on the person who practiced more.
I'm not.
You're not.
Because this is the same talk we had earlier when we said, look at the people that just have the talent but have the undisciplined mind. Like there are people that are just that better than other people to where they don't need to run 5 times a week, 20 routes a day. And sometimes all they need is just that 100 routes at a time to hone in and just get the repetition.
How many people are that fall into that category?
I'm not going to give you an answer, but I'm not going to sit here and say that what you're saying is 100% true.
The people I can assure you, the people that you're referring to just now, they're in the minority.
But they still are there though.
They are.
That's why I said when I said routines are bullshit, I said it's only bullshit if you're not doing something that works for you. If running 100 routes once a month and not doing anything the other 29 or 30 days works for you, then it works for you. That doesn't make you any less or any worse than someone else because you're doing what works for you.
And you don't think that person would improve with extra practice?
Who's to say?
If it's done at a sustainable level.
If it's done at a sustainable level. If it was done at a sustainable level.
You would say so?
I wouldn't say it's guaranteed success, but it's possible.
You're more likely
It's a
to be better.
possibility. No, there's just a possibility. I'm not gonna say more likely.
Why not?
Because I said that there's people who are just that damn good.
But for the average person, for you and I, and Josh, if we do something routinely, let's say like going to the gym, you do a bench press, right?
Yeah.
So you're benching once a week. Is your bench more likely to go up as a consequence you do it once a week or twice a week?
I would say it's more likely to go up once a week because that is 5 to 6 days of rest in between each workout, which means you have more rest time than the other person, which then means that if you're eating correctly to the next workout, you're going to come in lifting, because I only do chest once a week, I only do legs once a week, and I only do back once a week, and I come in every other week, every other week or every week lifting more than when I came in last week. And when I was lifting, doing my chest exercises 3 times a week, I would notice muscle fatigue the next week I come in, and I'm not even able to push what I was pushing because my body needs rest that bad. So if you want to say that, okay, overtraining or lifting too much in a short period of time is my fault, then yeah, but that's my routine. That means my routine is shit at that time because I'm doing something that's not beneficial for me, even though using your logic that I'm working out twice a week, it's just not beneficial in comparison to working out just once a week and doing what is beneficial for me within that routine.
The whole argument that I was making was for a point of specialization. So the more time you dedicate towards something, as a consequence, you're more likely to be an expert or more skilled at that particular thing that you're practicing. Because I seen like, by your definition or your rebuttal to the question that Josh had, was saying that routines are bullshit sometimes, or for the most part. I forgot exactly how you worded it.
No, I just said routines are bullshit if they're not beneficial. It's not more or less like routines don't work. I'm just saying that your routine is not going to work if it's not beneficial to you, if it's not tailored to you. If it's a routine that is just, like I said, copied from what you've seen work for somebody else. Because I've done it before. I've like literally looked at, like I'll watch like, what were we talking about before? Like personal development videos on YouTube. Mm-hmm. And I'll try and implement what I see in personal development YouTube videos, and then wonder why I still waking up feeling shit, and I'm getting stuff done, but it doesn't feel fulfilling. Mm-hmm. And then when I actually figure out what fulfills me and what I'm able to, put my energy into that is returned back to me, that makes me want to accomplish more, then that's when routines become beneficial for me. Because I had a routine 12 months ago, but the routine that I had 12 months ago was shit compared to the routine that I have now. I wasn't as disciplined 12 months ago as I am now, because I realized that the routine that I had then was shit and not working, and I kind of focused more on what makes me happy. Mm-hmm. What do I need to accomplish to feel happy? What do I need to accomplish that keeps me determined? And then what do I need to accomplish that gets me over the hump to where I'm finding new goals and new avenues to go down to where I'm achieving more.
So you haven't plateaued or anything like
exactly. That? So I'm not, like I said, I tried to, I don't think I clarified it as much as I could have. I was just saying, I'm not saying that routines are bullshit. I'm saying routines are bullshit if it's not beneficial to you. Like if you're not taking time out to understand what your deficiencies are, then a routine is just a routine, and it's just its basic definition. It's a repetition of activities just for the sake of consistency. All you're getting is consistency, but you're not getting any personal development or growth. Mm-hmm. You can be consistently depressed and wonder why, when you're doing everything you're supposed to do, everything you saw that personal development video tell you need to do, but you're not sitting back and saying, well, maybe I'm depressed because what I'm doing is not working for me. Maybe I need to find something that is working for me and substitute it for what I'm doing now, so my routine can be beneficial to me.
Or talk to someone who could guide me and make a routine that works for myself.
Exactly.
One of those issues with the self-help books or videos, or at least a perception of them, is that people try to do a complete overhaul and just get rid of all their habits that they currently have versus implement them incrementally, and then as a consequence they're more likely to stick to it.
Yeah. Like I actually listened to a podcast probably about a month ago, and they were saying that one of the biggest mistakes people make when it comes to physical health is trying to focus on sleep, diet, and their workout routine all simultaneously, instead of spending time honing in their diet, spending time honing in their consistency in working out, and then spending time honing in a sleep schedule that allows their body to recover. Because I tried to do everything at once. I tried to start going to the gym more, implementing intermittent fasting, trying to eat consistency, and I achieved results, but I had like a lot of like hormonal imbalances. Like there would just be times where in the middle of the day, like I would just, like my mood would just drop. And I realized like after a while that I was putting my body through so much stress by giving it this completely new identity and overhaul in such a short amount of time that it, like everybody's body will go through an adjustment period that is going to have like things that I experience, they'll experience. Like you said, you have to implement things incrementally to allow your body to adjust, allow your mind to adjust, rather than just saying, I want to do X, Y, and Z, and I want to do it now, and I want to do it at 100% perfection. It's just not feasible.
No. I got you. But if you wanted to go back to me as far as like creating a new answer.
No, we good.
You sure?
No, go ahead.
No, I mean, it's up to you. But I was just gonna say, people wasting their health for like monetary gain, because I feel like people value people value the wealth more than their health, basically, throughout society in a variety of ways.
That's the biggest waste of human potential.
Yeah, I would say, because without it, I mean, if we're here, then we can do what we can become better, But if we're wasting our health for monetary gain, then it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work out well.
What would be an example of that then?
As far as a person wasting
You said for the sake of monetary gain, so just to be clear, you're talking about somebody who works themselves to death, like in the sense of committing a lot of time towards working and achieving, X amount of money, and while they're doing that, they neglect other aspects of their health. Like they're sacrificing their hours of work for hours of self-care and like getting proper sleep and eating and working out and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was thinking of it more in a diabolical way, but yeah. But I was thinking, you was thinking of more of a sacrificial way.
Emaciated slaves or something?
No.
Is that more your thing?
No, not like that. What were you saying?
No, I mean, I just wanted like an example.
As far as
like a clear cut. Like, do you have like a clear cut example?
Just in terms of like billionaires destroying the environment because they're getting the money, they're saving money, and because they don't have to dump it anywhere,
What would be like a micro example then? Like a everyday, like average Joe, you and I.
I would say a person eating like bad food throughout, like constantly, like fast food, McDonald's throughout the day, and spending money on that. But I would say that, of course, there's reasons why people do that. Poor,
convenience, financial stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, so that's micro. What? Because I went there.
I don't think that's. I wouldn't have chosen that answer.
What? McDonald's? The what?
No, I'm just saying like the factors of them eating poorly and being the biggest waste of human potential. Like they could have been Michael Jordan had they not had that Big Mac.
I was trying to stay on that.
No, but I actually think, thinking about your answer a lot more, I think that you do have some validity in the sense of you are what you eat, and your gut regulates your mood. So think about how many people have just eaten poorly their whole life and wondered why they're so depressed, or wondered why there's so many hormonal imbalances. And had they just honed in on their diet and focused on what they were actually eating, and understand that, your body reacts to certain foods and certain things because your body isn't supposed to be digesting these things. And if you actually took the time out to educate yourself on what you're actually supposed to eat, what is beneficial to your blood type, or what's beneficial to your body type, and just watch how your mind would just transform, because you're not always in this depressed state because of, if it's hormonal overload, or like whatever nutritional, terminology you want to throw into how bad foods affect your moods.
Yeah,
like
And food, like, you can develop cancers from foods too. So yeah, I mean that can definitely mess with your health and everything. So yeah. Is anything else you guys wanna?
There's actually a book that details that. I'm trying to find the name of the book
about
the connection between your diet and your psyche, like that whole connection between, like you say, your microbiome inside your stomach, how it influences mood and behavior and things like that.
You know who it's from? Who it's by?
I'll look it up later. I'm not gonna waste too much time. I'll drop it in the link. Drop the link and the details of the book down in the description.
Okay.
But what you were saying about a lot of people underestimate the role of a diet when it comes to preparation, because you think that sets the baseline for what you're able to operate off the day. Because if you have low energy levels because you didn't eat breakfast, like regardless of the fact that you're not hungry, you need energy. So one of the biggest things you can do is prepare yourself properly. So if you get off to a bad start, of course everything's going to be shitty. And it's like it's a positive feedback loop, because once you're already off on a bad foot with that, then your mood is predisposed to be in a more negative space. And then once you do that, certain things will happen, and it's reciprocal. Easy preventable, in my opinion.
Yeah. Anything else?
So I kind of take it back about laughing at the Big Mac.
You take it back. But yeah, what do you guys think though? But yeah, what's the biggest waste of human potential? Comment below, let us know, okay?
Nah, we really want to hear your answers too, because if you guys provide us feedback, that gives us, something to talk about next time.
Absolutely. Listen, I'll be right there, the first person looking at those, like, what's up? That's good.
Notification.
Exactly. But you have an album of the week for us?
No, I actually don't have an album of the week.
I do.
Go ahead.
Kevin Gates, I'm him. No, I'm serious.
But
is that the name of the album?
I'm him.
Okay.
His Imperial Majesty.
I never imagine you listening to Kevin Gates. I don't picture him as somebody that listens to Kevin Gates.
He's my favorite rapper.
But I don't have an album of the week, but one book that I really have been reading, and I think it ties in perfectly, is called Broke Millennial, where it's more or less a book written by, of course, a millennial who is more or less talking about getting your financial life together and ways to balance your budgets and get out of debt, and kind of breaking down the importance of 401k savings, just about anything that you can imagine that gets you on the financial forefront at an early age. And then another book that I have not started reading yet, but I'm going to pick up probably within the next week, is called Boundaries. And it was a recommendation by one of the guys that I went to high school with, goes to the same gym as me, stopped and talked to me last Friday or Saturday and mentioned it. And it was very beneficial for people who are getting ready to get married or going through relationship turbulence in their early adulthood. Kind of highlights the importance and structural importance of setting boundaries, not just with your significant other, but also with yourself. So I think those are two books you should definitely check out.
I found the book that I mentioned.
What's it?
It's called Stress Proof.
Okay.
I can't pronounce the author's name, so I'm not even going to try.
Okay.
That is...
But it will be in the description now. So.
Right, it's a wonderful read.
Look like Mithu, Storoni, MD.
That's if you don't have anything silent, but you trying to pronounce everything. Shit. You know how them names are. Probably like 4 of them letters silent. Probably pronounce something different. But you heard it here, folks. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Look, welcome to the show. Go and take a seat. Let's talk about the world while taking a sip of tea. A bunch of brothers come together. That's something we love to see. The company can't get no better. We come from running the streets, but we here now. The vibes all good. We survived. We gon' try and show the world inside the minds of some visionary brothers. We only got each other. We don't support each other. Ain't nobody gonna love us. We can talk about the violence, the silence, the Mayans, the stake that the minds and the science, defiance, living and dying and laughing and crying, pure bliss and heartache and quitting and trying. That's real from the heart, truth in the art. To come up in the future, we just gotta play our part. Can we handle that? Let them tear us apart. Infusion breakdown show. Go and talk about your thought.